to himself. I don't know what the hell he's thinking. This ain't the basketball court. Watch out now. I'm just saying. I'm the Magic of debate. There's still time to back out, Magic. Just me and him, one-on-one. His brother's in trouble.
You know what I call that, Wendy, by Stephen A? That's irrational confidence. The magic of debate. I can get on board with that. The one and only Magic Johnson live in studio, one-on-one with Stephen A. 2 hours on Monday. Set your DVRs. I cannot wait for all of it. The Magic Man in-house. It's going to be fun. Let's get to a squad, shall we? The Lakers without LeBron James, who's hampered with an ankle injury, and Anthony Davis, who likely will return this weekend. It is all Brody, though, as LA traveled to Dallas to face Luka and the Mavs and took an 18-point loss. This was the Lakers' third straight loss, and they fell out of contention. Russell Westbrook getting into this exchange with Brad Turner, veteran Lakers beat reporter for the LA Times.
Now you guys are actually the 11th seed, so you're out of the playing game. What changes going forward?
Nothing, man. Nothing.
And why is that?
Because it doesn't. What does it change? We still got games to play. Other teams still got games to play. We still got to play teams that's above us in the play-in. Don't really change much.
Thank you, Russ.
What do you think should change?
Winning. Be dumping.
Okay, that's obvious. What do you think should change?
Winning. Winning games, playing hard. You asked the question, I gave you an answer.
That's fine. You got the answer to winning?
Hi.
You have the answer to winning?
I'm not out there playing. Maybe I think you give me the answer what you think should be.
Exactly.
So well,
I don't have the answer.
You know,
exactly.
If you don't have it, you out there, I can't have it either.
You ask me, think I have an answer. You don't have it either.
Well, but I don't play, Russell. I want to get the information from you so that I can
I'm
give it
only
to
one
you.
person, champ.
Right.
It's a team game, so
Right.
I don't have an answer.
Okay.
I may have it.
I don't have it.
It's all good.
But I'm asking the pros who know the game, play the game,
Yeah.
what you think you can do to make it your part, their part, everybody's part.
Sure.
That's what I'm asking.
No, I really, I respect that.
Okay.
You got that? Y'all got that?
No.
Y'all got it?
No, respect. We
It's all good.
can
See that? It's good.
We
You see
good.
that? Y'all got that? All right, cool. Y'all got it. Make sure I record that.
The Lakers now have the same record as the Spurs, who hold the conference tiebreaker and could bump LA out of the play-in. It's the first time since October that the Lakers are out of playoff contention. Dominique Foxworth back with us, and Wendy still here. And let me just say this again in case anyone's just joining us. Brad Turner, a pro's pro. I feel like he handled that absolutely perfectly. He was firm. He's honest. Like no one cares about my opinion. They care about you. You're the pro. We want to know from you. Wendy, tell me this. Where do the Lakers go from here?
Well, short term, it's probably going to get worse before it gets better, Molly, because they are probably going to play tomorrow night without LeBron James and Anthony Davis in Utah, in a game Utah has got to have because they have now almost fallen back to 6th in the Western Conference. So I don't love their chances tomorrow. Then maybe LeBron comes back this weekend. Maybe AD comes back this weekend. But the Spurs' schedule is easier between now and then. So I think that the Lakers could functionally be 2 or 3 games back by the time those guys get back. So even if they start playing better, AD comes back, hits the ground running. When he came back earlier this season from the knee injury, he played great immediately. Let's just say he does that. Let's just say that he does the hope. But they may be so far back with a tough schedule, it may not matter. So really, if you're a Laker fan and you want to see them advance, you need to start rooting for the Portland Trailblazers because they play the Spurs twice this week. And then into the offseason, the longer range, I would love to tell you that I had a blueprint ready for what the Lakers need to do. The only thing I can say is they should call all 29 other teams and say, what will you give me for Russell Westbrook as an expiring contract? We are willing to take back money. You're not trading for him as a player. You're trading for him as an expiring contract, $47 million. And if you can find a taker, you take anything that you can get. And then you try to assess what you have. That, to me, is their first order of business. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it.
Real quick, Nick, before we get you in here, this just came to mind from our earlier conversation. What would be worse if the Lakers miss the play-in or the Nets don't even win a series? When we're talking these super teams, superstars that we were all clamoring to see in this year's finals.
I'm guessing that.
I was asking you.
Yeah, I thought you were asking Wendy.
I'm asking Wendy.
Oh, you're asking me?
Yes, I thought you were giving me a dramatic pause or something.
I thought you were asking Dominique. I didn't like It's not the same Nets team that you're talking about from the start of the season. This is a team that does not have James Harden and doesn't have his replacement. So I will say the Lakers is worse because the fall is greater, and they don't have, frankly, as much to blame.
Got it. I enjoyed the dramatic pause, though. I was really waiting for it.
I was like, what's he going to say to this?
It's all good. Nick, where do the Lakers go from here?
I mean, the short term, it's nowhere, obviously. Like, I think this season is over and it's looking into next season. And I think what Wendy pointed out is the scary part is who wants to take on Russell for $47 million. And I assume there are teams that are planning to tank. And having Russell on your roster might put some butts in the seats while you are losing because his value as a player, not that it was all that high before, it's gone down to a point where I can't imagine a team wanting to bring him in order to make a run. It's a sad place to be in for such a great, great player. But I do think that we have to appreciate that they won a title. And there are teams that have never won titles. And as much as we have these high expectations of the Lakers and high expectations of LeBron James, they won a title. And I'm looking at all these teams like just across, or not across town, in the same building. The Clippers made a bunch of other trades a few seasons ago and moves to get in a title contention window. They haven't won a title. I'm sure they would take the bleak future that the Lakers have going forward with AD on the roster, with LeBron on the roster, as long as they got a title out of it. The bubble title, I get it, but it's a title nonetheless.
Is one title enough when we're talking those three, those big?
Yes.
When we're talking about the Lakers?
Absolutely. I mean, I never
I don't
won
know
a
if that's what LA
championship.
signed up for.
I mean, I won one when I was in Pop Warner, and I never won one in anything higher level than that. So hell yeah, I don't care. LA, they have to accept that we're in a new phase of the NBA. We're not in a period where they can go and attract all the big stars and Cat be damned. We're in a different period. They're gonna have to fend for these superstars like everyone else. And if you have to mortgage a couple years of your future in order to have one championship, I mean, I think it's a good deal. Look around the league. I mean, the Suns would do it. I'm sure the Nuggets would do it.
You think one's enough? Mission's accomplished with AD and LeBron and Brody.
I have developed a saying in 20 years covering the NBA that when you win a championship, it means never having to say you're sorry because winning is so hard. So when you look at Rob Pelinka's performance, you can say, boy, he botched this roster, but he still put together a championship team. You can say, boy, it's really unfortunate AD keeps getting hurt. He won a championship. I don't know how much that gets you in terms in LA, especially when you come into a season and declare that you think you're going to do this.
No, it's fair.
But I will never take away from that accomplishment. It is definitely spectacular. I just don't know. None of them would say that if LeBron, when he came there, the day he came to LA and signed, if you'd have told him he'd have won one title in 4 years, he'd have been, oh my, that's great. I would be so happy to win one title in 4 years. If you'd have told him 10 minutes after he won that title that they were going to be missing the play-in game 2 years later, he would be furious. So there's a nuance in there. I don't know where different Lakers fans are going to have different.
I hear you. I just felt like the standard's different because of those names, the Lakers. But you know who would appreciate a title? Like a pathetic Knicks fan like Stephen A. And
Exactly.
I have another tweet for Stephen A. I hope he just heard that. And we asked you earlier, KD and Kyrie, are they the most skilled duo of all time? So Jay Williams said yes, they were. That was his hot take. And Wendy, I said I'd give you a little time to marinate on it. Well, Stephen A's responded, Jay Will may have a point. KD and Kyrie, if we're just talking offense, last check though, defense matters. So Jordan and Pippen is still it for me. And yes, I'm still watching First Take.